Alex got the stomper. We gon' hold it down till I get beamed up. Married to this bitch, no prenup. We can go to ground, I roll my sleeves up. One west to the death, throw my team up. We gon' hold it down till I get beamed up. Married to this bitch, no prenup. We can go to ground, I roll my sleeves up. One west out the window, throw my team up.
Niggas going live explaining shit. I'm like, yeah. Lord said we gon' take the kingdom from them. I'm like, hell yeah. I'll bring it to these niggas though like I'm the mailman. We ain't got no cowards, got the general like Will said. We at the end, give up now, I can't imagine. Why you bellow like that? I thought we was family. I'm one west like Ty War, you gotta bury me. I got tequila in my cup of cranberry. Yeah, he couldn't hold it down, it was burdensome. They told me Christ giving out crowns, I gotta earn me one. Babylon about to fall, the Lord gon' burn it up. I put myself around some soldiers and it turned me up. These niggas fear death more than they fear the Lord. They don't play with me like that, cause I kill them for it. If it ain't the UPK, then that's a schism, boy. Hey, these niggas ain't gon' ride there in a lemon, boy. Hey, listen in the art, you ain't hear me, boy? I'm just telling you the truth, get out your feelings, boy. Anyways, I got soldiers in Jamaica like it shot us. Fuck ICE, it's La Raza over Gaza.
We gon' hold it down till I get beamed up. Married to this bitch, no prenup. We can go to ground, I roll my sleeves up. One west to the death, throw my team up. We gon' hold it down till I get beamed up. Married to this bitch, no prenup. We can go to ground, I roll my sleeves up. One west out the window, throw my team up. Niggas ride, niggas tired, we gon' set this shit on fire. Babylon is falling, they in pie, expire. Your drip is private eye, wave a weapon, change the climate. I represent the highest, my reputation giant. My knowledge ain't no migrants, real G's moving silent. You ain't wanna see defiance, will exterminate the virus. This a powerful alliance, great head, never diet. This a message to my client. Shema, Yasha Allah, we ain't never been divided. Just lulled by a siren, hear the roar of a lion. Our resting place is Zion, whether Inca or a Mayan, it's the law, we abide it. Trap a gad, living as a right, French is flying. You were cordially invited to the black and brown function. Said you fucking with the best. It must be one west plot, runner for your chest. Pass that wire like a test. Hard body, no finesse. I'm talking esoteric, but I digress. You the man, unless you show me something different. Said you wanna join the team, just know we stop for Abba Bivin. Said you wanna rock a crown, don't be corner, no religious. Tell them bitches it's a coat and I'm a leader, ho. We gon' hold it down till I get beamed up. Married to this bitch, no prenup. We can go to ground, I roll my sleeves up. One west to the death, throw my team up. We gon' hold it down till I get beamed up. Married to this bitch, no prenup. We can go to ground, I roll my sleeves up. One west out the window, throw my team up.
Being able to rap is a marker of verbal intelligence and verbal fluency, which is associated with the ability to articulate, and that in turn is associated with a high probability of success in the world.
I swing a sword, but it's the Lord doing the killing. I'm the puppet, he's the puppeteer, that's how I'm living. Rep the 12 tribes, nigga, we the children. About face, bitch, pay attention. Read the fine print, terms and conditions, then you understand just how we earn this position. Learn something different, cause currently you're proper for John McClane, spitting flame, bursting out the aqueduct, better than a vodka club. Darling, this is wartime apparel. Brotherhood's a weapon, there's no muzzle on my barrel. If it's sawed off, you know that it's all talk. Till the day they fall off, consider this a lost cause. Big or small crumbs, doesn't matter, pimp, it's all pops. Whether it be bullets or drinks, just know we call shots. This is what they call hot. Niggas paid the cost. Fuck the price. Sacrifice ain't nothing nice. Fuck ice. Christ is coming right by, like a thief in the night or a thriller in Manila. He the type to take it thither, bring that little bitch hither. Spill him guts on his chinchilla. He a cutthroat, killer 10 toes, I suppose. Lord knows where the pros with the cons. If you wanna break your bond, it's a midway tournament, live from the firmament. I host face, angels on deck, star spangled axe permanent. Like a fire to a moth, shine brighter than them all. The mama tryna clean me up, but she a liar and a fraud. Apply the wire to your jaw, bite right into it raw. Over time they lose they smart, been a rider from the start. From the start, understand, I ain't gotta be a man. I was formed like this, most of you bitches is trans. I was forged in the fire, deny my desires by the will of the Father. I'm an abortion survivor, came in the truth with a lighter. My flame is legit, so I blaze on you hoes about the crack epidemic. He's coming back with a vengeance when y'all attacked our business. We deviated for a minute, now we standing on business. He brought it back to remembrance, got you back in your feelings. What you started, we finished, so we regarded as villains. We hit the mat like a gymnast and holding racks like a tennis. You holding back, motherfucker, going and grab me some titties. Bitches be acting so ditty, but who's gonna pity your charmer? You want it greater for Egypt, but there's a chick in your armor. It's with the water, the Red Sea. They still follow us, tired off in the jet skis. They still swallowed up. These niggas hollow, my niggas is hollow. Them niggas is crackers and they gon' swing from the gallows. I put in work in the shadows so I can skirt in the Lambo. When I start working like Rambo, no, I rehearse every battle. But like my nigga Yasha Allah with the worst of the cattle. Growing up shit's creep, I'm the first with the paddle. Did this shit without an anthem. Don't you think I'm handsome? I'm at the opera with the choppers in the phantom. Hold this little bitch ransom. I'm trying to get canceled. Do you hustle a house or calculating the outcome while you gamble without? And then I go off for the platinum. The only thing simple is the taste of victory. Once you shake off the mystery, don't forsake it, the history. That's these little white babies on their little white faces. Nothing new under the sun. This is old as the testament. If you don't like what I'm saying, you're exploding with estrogen. Y'all was voting for presidents, I was hosting the exorcist. Brought that hoe to your residence. Once they saw overseas, so you preach a tamper with evidence. Damn, you gross with that negligence. I've been one West ever since.
Shalom Israel, Shalom Israel, Yahba Shemal Shabrak, a thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shemal, a thumb by Shemal Shah to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Quran Yahla, the ISUBK, under Commander General Yana. It is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class streaming on the ISUBK Sacramento page. So I'm going to just jump straight into the topic. You understand? Y'all can tell by the title. Who is Esau / Edom and what is his fate? Right? Now, of course, the man that's actually Esau on planet Earth, he will never tell you or reveal who Esau actually is, as well as these fake sellout Israelite groups. You understand? I've heard Esau is the Arabs. You understand? A whole bunch of nonsense, and we're gonna dispel all of them lies tonight. You understand? So now we're going to this Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary, right? We're going to look up Esau, right? Esau, the firstborn of the twin brothers Esau and Jacob, son of Isaac and Rebekah. Genesis 25, we're going to read about that. You understand? Before their birth, God had told their mother that the elder shall serve the younger. Esau became a man of the fields. He apparently lived only for the present. The characteristic was demonstrated when he let Jacob have his birthright for a mess of pottage because he was hungry. And when it says he only lived for the moment, it's like, read that again. He apparently lived only for the present, meaning he didn't give a damn about the future. You understand? He was willing to give up his birthright as the ruling nation in order just to eat some food right then and there. You understand? Salakia, where was I at? We're going to get into the story of him, but now I'm going to go to Edom. You understand? Which his name was changed to Edom, which means red, right? Adam in the Hebrew. Or Salakia. Adawam in the Hebrew. Excuse me. Okay, Edom, right? The nation and its people who were the descendants of Esau. He founded the country, so his name is equated with Edom. The country was also called Seir. Now remember that name Seir. You understand? Mount Seir, Esau, Edom. You understand? All of these names pertain to one particular nation of people. All right. Salakia. The country was called Seir or Mount Seir, which was the name of the territory in which the Edomites lived. The mountain and plateau area between the Dead Sea and the Gulf of Aqaba, about 100 miles long and up to 40 miles wide. The original inhabitants of this land were the Horites or cave dwellers. Now, when you look at Edom, you understand, or the land of Edom, the nation of Edom, they settled like directly under where the Israelites were given that piece of land from the Canaanites. You understand? The Edomites lived right up under us, or right up under, the promised land that was given to the nation of Israel, right? And you can tell when you read in the books of Exodus, you understand, Slaki, I believe the book of Numbers, check on that. In the book of Numbers, where Amalek, you understand, which is the chief tribe of the Edomites, they committed a lot of atrocities against the children of Israel in us passing through their land. You understand? So I'm going to drop down, right, all the way to the bottom. It says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments, right? And we're going to read those. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from God, right? This is right here in the Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary on page 234. You understand? I'm reading it out of this book right here. These Edomites or Esau or Edom, these people in the scriptures, the prophets always talked about a great future judgment for this nation of people. You understand? And the reason why is because the atrocities that they committed against the children of Israel was just heinous. And of course, the Lord loves his chosen people. You understand? Now, I'm going to show y'all a couple books, but I'm not going to necessarily get into these books, but I'm going to show you the front page of these books, and the titles of these books pertaining to this nation of people who is known as the Edomites. You understand? The first book that I'm going to grab is this book. If y'all can't tell the title of this book, you understand? At the top picture, right? This is so like I believe this photo is a photo of the Ark of Titus. You understand? Now hold on. Let me show you all this real quick. Slovakia. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, Israel. Because I'm going to try to show y'all. Oh, here we go. Most High Christ. Perfect. I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see this image right here. This is the same exact image that's on this book. And this book, by the way, is called The Roman Empire, the Empire of the Edomite. You understand? Meaning that the Romans were in fact Edomites. All right. So let me show you all this real quick. Now, what you're looking at right here on this screen is something called the Ark of Titus. DK, Shalom, Yabba Shemal Shabrakatah. What you're looking at right here is called the Ark of Titus. You understand? This is a close-up image. You understand? Right here on this book. But this is the same image that you're looking at right here on this screen, right? And the Ark of Titus is a piece of art, you understand, that symbolizes the events that happened 70 AD during the siege of Jerusalem, you understand, and the aftermath of it, right? We gonna get into all of that, you understand? All right. So Salakia. I'm gonna just take this off the screen for a second. You understand? So this book again, once again, the Roman Empire, the Empire of the Edomite. You understand? Caucasian historians know who the Edomites were. Now, you don't have to be the smartest man in the world. You understand? But you do know that the Romans or the Italians are so-called Caucasian people. You understand? Right? Christopher Columbus was from where? He was from Italy. You understand? This was an Italian, right? You see what it says on this book? This book is called Christopher Columbus's Jewish Roots. Another prominent Caucasian figure, you understand, from Italy, a Roman, an Italian, you understand? And they say he had Jewish roots, right? So now you got this book that says the Romans or the Italians were Edomites. And I'm going to show you that the Greeks was Edomites too, because Caucasian people are all one and the same. They just different tribes, right? So you got this book, the Roman Empire, the Empire of the Edomite, telling you that these Romans were Edomites. You got Christopher Columbus, a known Italian, saying that he had Jewish roots. Then you have this book, Arthur Koestler, the 13th Tribe. This was written by a so-called Jewish man. And what he's saying in this book is, in order for it to be a Caucasian Israelite, it has to be 13 tribes, which we all know it's only 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? As a matter of fact, Salakia. I'm going to read from page 1, right? The country of the Khazars, a people of Turkish stock, occupied a strategic key position at the vital gateway between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, where the great Eastern powers of the period confronted each other, right? So these Khazars, right? These are people of Turkish stock. If anybody knows what a Turkish person is, you know good and damn well that is a Caucasian person. Hands down. You understand? I'm going to read on, turning the page, Salakia. What page is this? This is the third page, right? A few years later, probably AD 740, the king, his court, and the military ruling class embraced the Jewish faith, talking about the king of the Khazarian Empire. And Judaism became the state religion of the Khazars. No doubt their contemporaries were as astonished by this decision as modern scholars when they came across the evidence in the Arab, Byzantine, Russian, and Hebrew sources. Meaning, the people that lived around the time during the Khazarian Empire, they were shocked that they would take on the law, statutes, and commandments or the customs of being an Israelite. Excuse me, Slocky. Allergies killing me, y'all. They were shocked that these Khazarians would take on the faith of being an Israelite. Just like modern scholars dug deep into the history of the so-called Jewish man today, they found evidence that these Jewish people, you understand, the majority of the so-called Ashkenazi Jew, they actually descend from the Khazarian Empire, and they have no Hebrew blood. You understand? Or and when I say they have no Hebrew blood, yes, of course, they come from Esau. They were the offspring of Edom. You understand? But Edomites were not looked at as Hebrews. You understand? Edomites was not looked at as Israelites because they wasn't Israelites. You understand? The only people that was looked at as Hebrews were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Edomites weren't considered to be Hebrews. You understand? Salakia. Now I've heard some fake Israelites say, oh, they're Hebrew Edomites. That don't make no goddamn sense at all. You understand? When you talk about Hebrews, you know you talking about the children of Israel. Like, that's a no-brainer. You understand? Salakia. It's another book, right? Between Athens and Jerusalem, Jewish identity in the Hellenistic diaspora, meaning that this is giving you a little bit of the history of how Israelites became to speak Greek. You understand? Not being ethnic Greeks, but this is about the Hellenization period of the Israelites. You understand? Now, let's get into that Ark of Titus, okay? So hold on. I'm going to share my screen once again. I'm going to put the Ark of Titus back up there on the screen so y'all can get a visual of it. And then I'm going to give you the history of it. All right? Y'all bear with me 1 second. Yeah, that was fast. That pink slip already came over there. Okay. Salakia. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen one more time. And the water for all of the viewers for tapping in, because this is a very important class. Okay. So what y'all looking at on the screen is the history of the siege of Jerusalem during 70 AD. And I'm going to give you the prophecy that Christ talked about. And then I'm going to go a little bit into this book From Babylon to Timbuktu, which is actually a credible source when it comes to what happened to the children of Israel post the siege of Jerusalem. All right. So the siege of Jerusalem in 70 CE was the decisive event of the first Jewish-Roman war, a major rebellion against Roman rule in the province of Judea. Led by Titus, Roman forces besieged the Jewish capital, which had become the main stronghold of the revolt. Hence the name, the Ark of Titus. That image that I showed you, right? That's on the front of this book. That image comes from the aftermath of what happened to us as a people due to the Romans and Titus leading the charge. All right. Salakia, which had become the main stronghold of the revolt. After months of fighting, they breached its defenses, destroyed the second temple, razed most of the city, and killed, enslaved, or displaced a large portion of its population. The fall of Jerusalem marked, the effective end of the Jewish revolt and had far-reaching political, religious, and cultural consequences. In the winter of 69/70 CE, following a pause caused by a succession war in Rome, the campaign in Judea resumed as Titus led at least 48,000 troops, including 4 legions and auxiliary forces, back into the province. By spring, this army had encircled Jerusalem, whose population had surged with refugees and Passover pilgrims. Right. So now they waited like you got to understand what happened. They waited till the springtime. Why would they wait till the springtime?
Because they just getting over winter, or because it's not cold no more.
No, these white boys get it on in any weather. DK, Baba Kashai, if you understand why they waited till springtime, put it in the chat for me, DK. I know you know why they waited till springtime. Come on, I know you know.
More spoiled?
Huh?
More spoiled?
That's a piece of it. But what is significant with the springtime for the children of Israel?
This our new year?
By spring, this army had encircled Jerusalem, whose population had surged with refugees and Passover pilgrims.
Is everybody starting to go back home?
No, everybody was starting to come to Jerusalem to celebrate Passover.
Oh, why would they want to come all those more people then?
Why not? To kill us. Exactly, DK, Passover. To kill us. They wanted to round all of us up.
Oh, okay. I figured it would be harder, so I thought it was like, that's why I said we were leaving. Like,
Nah, see, you got to understand, right? They don't give a damn about back then. I ain't gonna lie. Edomites, the Roman Empire, them boys had some cojones. The Greeks did too. These wasn't these watered down docile Edomites that we got today that think they war ready. Back then, them Romans and them Greeks, they was really war ready. They was on a mission to get us the hell up out of there. You see it with the Greek Empire. The Greeks did us bad. The Romans was cool for a time, but then they like, man, it's in their DNA, and I'm gonna show you all that. It's in their DNA to hate us, right? Reading on. Inside the city, rival factions led by John of Giscala, Simon Bar Giora, Eleazar and Ben Simon fought each other, destroying food supplies and weakening defenses. Although the factions eventually united and mounted fierce resistance, Roman forces breached the city walls and pushed the defenders into the temple precincts. You understand? So they saying that brothers and sisters was fighting in Jerusalem. You understand? And of course, it's the same as today. Like the Bible literally says, a house divided against itself cannot stand. You understand? When you look at these fake Israelite groups that don't have no authorization to teach these scriptures and claim that they in the truth, they're the reason why blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians can't come together as a whole. If they all just come into the truth under Commander General, you understand? Because all y'all teachers learned from the ISUBK. There's not nobody out there that has an organization that didn't learn from the UPK. Nobody. You understand? You got brothers that sit up here and go try to go to the 1920s and find some black Jewish group, because that's what they was back then. As far as having the whole truth according to the Bible, it didn't happen until 1969. The rest of them niggas wanted to be Jewish. That's why they had fringes and tassels on their t-shirts, and they wore the attire of the Jewish man. It wasn't up until Abba Bivens, the seven heads, Chief REI, you understand? Yeshaya, you understand? Mashah. All of these brothers did the actual real research to give us the whole truth in its entirety. It didn't happen like that at first. The other niggas wanted to be Jewish. You understand? But us fighting against each other is ultimately, you understand, played a major key role in the destruction of the nation of Israel and Jerusalem. And of course, furthermore than that, us not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Us wanting to be like the Romans. You understand? Salaki. Right. Damn right, DK. Same thing as Judas Maccabees. You understand? And we're going to get into that too. Right? In the summer month of Av, or July or August, around that time, the Romans finally captured the Temple Mount and destroyed the Second Temple, an event mourned annually in Judaism on Tisha B'Av. The rest of Jerusalem fell soon, with tens of thousands killed, enslaved, or executed. And if them white boys over there in Israel is fake mourning the temple, that's all BS. They have to try to do that. You understand? Because if you don't show some type of sympathy, what happened to your so-called ancestors, because we know damn well this ain't their ancestors. These is them people. You understand? These is the same people, right? And so forth and so on. And I'm going to show y'all King James, that he was a black man. You understand? Salakia. The Romans systematically razed the city, leaving only 3 towers of the Herodian citadel and sections of the wall to showcase his former greatness. A year later, Vespasian and Titus celebrated their victory with the triumph in Rome, parading temple spoils, including the menorah, alongside hundreds of captives. Monuments such as the Ark of Titus were erected to commemorate the victory. And that Ark of Titus still stands to this day. You looking at the screen? The Ark of Titus still stands to this day, huh? This is a close-up still picture. It's a close-up picture on what's on the Ark of Titus. Matter of fact, hold on, Salakia. I'm going to show you all that in a second before I go back to what I was talking about. The destruction of Jerusalem and its temple marked a turning point in Jewish history. With sacrificial worship no longer possible, Judaism went a transformation, giving rise to rabbinic Judaism centered on Torah study, acts of loving kindness, and synagogue prayer. Right. And this is not talking about the Caucasians that's claiming to be Jews. This is talking about Israelites that didn't have a holy city anymore, that wanted to keep the custom still, that still wanted to, learn the Torah and teach this to their children, right? The city's fall also contributed to the growing separation between early Christianity and Judaism. And the reason why is because when you talk about Judaism in its purest form, Judaism is literally us keeping our law, statutes, and commandments. They name it Judaism on some, we have to come up with a name for this religion. The Lord didn't give us a name for not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. He didn't give us a name for not circumcising our children. The law was just given to us. This was our culture, our customs of people. Like, you wouldn't call being an Arab, you wouldn't call your nationality or there's no name for the culture of an Asian person. If you understand what I'm saying. There's no name for the culture of an Italian. You understand? Yeah, they might be Roman Catholics or indulge in Catholicism, but the name of their culture, there is no name for it. You understand? They just did what their people were taught. Our people, we don't have a name for our culture. It's the way of life of an Israelite. You understand? And then when a lot of these brothers that was taken back to Rome by these Romans, they became gladiators. We fought in the Colosseums, just like today. Just like you got football players, like we in Oakland. The arena up the street from here is literally called the Coliseum. That we are entertainment. Los Angeles, they got a Coliseum down there. You understand? It's the same thing as all of these baseball, football, and basketball stadiums. We always been a entertainment. Septimius Severus, which his name translates to Sever the Seventh. This was an Israelite cat that actually overthrew the Roman Empire and ushered in the dark ages of these niggas ruling in Europe. All right? Salaki. But that y'all get the gist of the siege of Jerusalem, right? So now I'm gonna share my screen one more time. Go back to this Archetytus. Right? Now let's go to the prophecy of what Christ said. You see it? It's this picture. Salakia. I'm gonna just read out the phone right now so y'all can keep an eye on this image, right? But if y'all got y'all swords, you can go to Luke 21. If you want to use this. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20. And it's written in red letters. This is Christ prophesying the destruction of Jerusalem. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. You understand? He said, when you see Jerusalem compassed with these armies, When you see these Romans come over here, the desolation of this is nigh. It's near. It's over for this. You understand? Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains. You understand? Now, when you look at the mountain area of that place, you got to go south to see the mountains. This is Christ telling the Israelites, hey, go south. Plus, where's Rome at? Rome is above us. We ain't running to Rome. Why would you run there? It don't make no sense. You're going to try to run towards Rome, and you're going to see Titus himself. Hey, get that nigga. And that's exactly what they would have said. Get that nigga. Because that's what they was calling us then. Acts 13:1. But Salaki, I'm going to keep reading on. What? Salakia. I'm going to read Luke 21. I'm going to start at 20 from the top. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. Christ said, when you start seeing armies coming here, bruh, it's over with. If you in a different country and you're Israelite, bruh, don't go to Jerusalem when you hear about this siege. If you there, get the hell up out of there. For these, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. He said, man, you're going to be destroyed if you a sister that got a little baby and you got to breastfeed this baby when these armies come around. You understand? When you look at what happened with us, like you got brothers and sisters that was eating their own children because we didn't have no food. You got brothers and sisters that was being slaughtered right next to their baby. You understand? You got brothers that was eating stuff that's not supposed to be food. Brothers was eating gold, silver, mud, all type of stuff because of the siege that they had around the city, not letting any food come out or go in. You understand? You put a siege around the city and lock up people in the city, eventually all of the resources that they have are going to be depleted. What?
That's crazy. So is they using the same tactics on what they doing like to Gaza right now when they not letting like food go in and out?
Yeah.
This is what they did to us way back when.
Absolutely. They're the same people. They got the same tactics. Just like the Greeks calling Egypt, Egypt. It wasn't called Egypt at first. It was called Mizraim or Matazarium in the Hebrew. The reason why they called it Egypt is because when they got to Egypt, they seen the written records and the hieroglyphs on the wall like, damn, you niggas became great because of slavery. And they took on that same culture. The Egyptians the Greeks did us bad. You feel me? The more you know, huh? Salakia. For there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. Did I not just read that they took some of us back captive? And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Picture what Christ just said. He said, when them armies come around and pass this place is about to be desolate. The destruction of this place is very near. They're going to slaughter us. Y'all going to be taken away captives. You're not going to live in this land anymore. And the Gentiles are going to trodden down on this place until the days of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Have we went back to that place? Go ahead.
So, because this is a prophecy, this before it actually happened.
This before it actually happened.
So, did like a lot of people not go because they knew that this was coming? Or
What do you mean? A lot
of people just not go to Passover like in the land of Jerusalem just because they know that this prophecy eventually is gonna happen?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
And then you gotta think about it too, right? When Christ was born, the Lord told his father Joseph to take him to Egypt. Egypt, there was a major city called Alexandria in Egypt. It was hella Israelites in Alexandria. As a matter of fact, like I was just talking about in one of the classes last night, Chief High Priest Onias the third or the fourth, I believe. The fourth. He went and fled from there to Alexandria. You understand? Like, now, of course, this is before Christ, but it was already bad in Jerusalem when it came to dealing with these Greeks. A lot of people never returned. And then you got to think about it. We was already scattered abroad. That's why Christ was sent to bring them two sticks together, Israel and Judah. It was a whole lot of Israelites that wasn't going over there. Hence, the Native Americans. You understand? The so-called Latinos, of course, of indigenous descent, not them white boys. You understand? But yeah, absolutely. So Christ said the destruction is near. You understand? After the destruction, then these Gentiles are going to trot down on our land until their times be fulfilled. Now, let's get into it. Where was I going? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna read this on the screen. Now let's go into who is Esau. You got a question? Let's go to Esau. You understand? We'll go to Genesis, the 25th chapter. And the 24th verse. I'm going to start at verse 24. So like I'm going to start at verse 20, right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So Isaac, trying to get his wife pregnant, you understand? And she was barren, meaning it wasn't happening. She wasn't able to conceive a seed. So Isaac, being a man of God, of course, his father is Abraham. You understand? This is the same young cat that was about to be sacrificed by his own father because he loved the Most High. He instilled those principles into his same son. You understand? Now, after that, Isaac went to pray to the Lord. Man, please, Lord, let me have a son. Brothers and sisters knew throughout history, the heir to your household comes from your loins to your son. You understand? This brother wanted a son, right? And Rebekah conceived. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. We was fighting Esau in the womb. And she going through birth pains. Imagine you got twins in your stomach and they're fighting each other as babies in the womb, which shows you that a child is very much alive in the womb. You understand? Abortion is murder. Salakia. Right? So she went to inquire of the Lord. She going through these pains. She like, man, if this is of the Lord, why do I feel so terrible? And this is what the Lord said. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. This is two nations, two different nationalities of people in her womb that are supposed to be separated when they born. You understand? Verse 24, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. This ain't no, they don't have sonograms at this time. You understand? You can't tell if a person is pregnant with twins until they have the babies. So when her days to be fulfilled, you understand, or her days to be delivered were fulfilled, she had one baby, and then, oh shit, there's another one coming. You understand? Verse 25, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Now, he came out red all over like a hairy garment. You understand? When you read that word red, right? I believe King David is classified as the same type of red, right? On the surface level. But if you're not spiritual and understand the slang of black people, we got different type of reds when you talk about people. Is a red bone the same as a redneck? Hell no. A red bone is somebody that's light-skinned, but you still a Negro. A redneck is a cracker. Period, point blank. You understand? He was called red, right? How do we know that this is a white man? This literally says this is the empire of the Edomite. Or Italians. If an Italian move to fucking Jackson, Mississippi or Alabama somewhere and live in them swamp cities or wherever the hell them white boys live down there and become a Klansman, is he not going to be a redneck? He's going to grow up just like them. He's going to have the same culture as them. And he's a Caucasian just like them. Just a white dude we talking about. Just going to get more specific into what type of cat this dude was. Right? Verse 26, and after that came out his brother, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. His name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Ain't described Jacob. So did describe that first strange looking boy, because don't nobody else look like dude at this time, right? Verse 27, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. The white man can hunt very good. You understand? Oh, Salak, I ain't even share my screen. The white man can hunt very good. You understand? As a matter of fact, he got tournaments for hunting. Salak, I'm sharing my screen now. He got tournaments for hunting. You understand? They gonna hunt everything. They gonna hunt them water rats in the Florida Everglades. They slaughtered all of the goddamn buffalo in America to starve out the Native American Indians. They hunt people like hell. They hunt people. You ever heard of a poacher? Poacher is somebody that goes to the Amazon jungle and just go kill tigers for sport. What about them white boys that just be in the woods killing deers and putting the heads on their wall? That's them. And they men of the field. Man, I don't even want to go camping for real. Not if it's not on a regular campsite. I ain't going to the woods. They be out there with bears, all type of stuff. This is their nature, right? Middle of verse 27. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. This was a plain dude dwelling in tents. We ain't men of the field. You understand? When you hear these YNs talking about me, I'm in the field. No, you're not in the field. You was in a concrete jungle that your oppressor made for you, and you want to be just like him. That's why you slaughter your own people. But you go ahead.
When I was in Denver, this was a restaurant out there.
Good night.
And it's a popular
Good night. Hold on. Let me see if I can show y'all this. My rib was just in Denver, Colorado. I don't know if y'all can see this. This is an Edomite restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
This is a popular Edomite restaurant out there. Y'all see all of them goddamn animal heads? Oh, they love they hunting. I see bears, buffaloes. It's deers. Is that a bobcat? A moose, elk. Yeah, they hunt everything. You understand? Hey, Shalom, sis, y'all Shamar Lataba Shimei Shah. You understand? These people are extreme hunters. You understand? They got competitions right now. I'm gonna get into that in a second. But matter of fact, Salaki, they got competitions right now shooting pistols. And it's little girls that's like 6 to like 12 years old that can shoot a goddamn fly off a deer head from 155 yards. And they raw because they daddies teach them this. And I'm going to show you why they like this. Genesis 27 and 40. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. This was the blessing that Esau got from Isaac. You understand? After the Lord blessed Jacob with eventually ruling the whole planet Earth. He said, Esau, you're going to have your time to rule, but you're going to live by the sword. You understand? What the Bible say, you reap what you sow. You understand? If you sow out seed in the field, if you plant corn, you're going to get corn. If you plant strawberries, potatoes, carrots, that's what you're going to get. You understand? If you sow murder in the earth, robbery, theft, that's what's going to happen to you. The Lord said, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. You understand? They served us for a time during the time of David, and they're going to serve us until they eradicate off of planet Earth. Barakatah Yahweh Shah. You understand? And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. That's in their DNA right now. You know how black people, they've been doing studies on us, and they tell you PTSD and trauma from slavery is literally embedded in our DNA. You got kids, like you've seen it, the black doll, white doll test. Black kids literally think that black dolls are evil, bad, and ugly because of what society has taught them for generations. This could be a 3-4-year-old kid, and they literally understand that. That black one is the bad one. That black one is the ugly one. This ain't what they just learned in their lifetime. They understand what's going on in society because kids are not dumb. They understand the power structure, and this is also embedded in their DNA. You understand? Especially when you raise your kids up in that Christian church and they see white Jesus as God. You understand? Just how we inherited the traits of trauma that happened to our ancestors, and it comes all the way down to our generation. Just how Esau hated us from the time in. And then you got to think about it like this too. Black people, we want to serve God. It's natural for us. Like, it's natural for us to want to serve God because that's in our DNA. We just don't know how to serve God because we've been trained by these devils. We've been trained by the Greeks, the Romans, the new revised Roman Empire that we live in today. These Spaniards, we've been taught how to worship God, you understand, in this Bible, and it's been all wrong, right? But naturally, we have a zeal to want to serve the Lord. Even brothers that's in the world that sell drugs, they literally pray to God that they make it home because they know it's dangerous out there in the streets. I know because I used to do that shit. You understand? Like, you could be doing the most evilest stuff in the world and still be like, God got me. I love God. Look at Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie is the most Christian gangster rapper I've ever seen in my goddamn life. That nigga, man, I'm going to leave it in God's hands. God. We got a zeal to want to serve God, but we don't know how to serve God because we've been taught by our oppressors. But the simple fact that we have the zeal to want to serve God, it comes from us being the children of Israel. Nobody wants to serve God like us. White people don't give a... When you see in God we trust on the money, they're still going to murder you and enslave you. They don't give a damn about that shit. Just like when we read the Bible, everybody want to say, love your enemies. You know that the white man is your enemy when you say that to an Israelite. You know the white man your enemy, but you don't know what enemy that scripture is talking about. It's talking about the nigga that's from an opposite gang as you. It's talking about the brother that you got into a dispute with over some money or a female. You understand? That's what that's talking about. The sister who don't want another sister dealing with her husband in the world, of course. That's what that's talking about. You understand? Family members who become enemies to each other and fight at the Thanksgiving party, at little kids' birthday parties, stuff like that. These are the enemies that we supposed to love. You understand? These are the enemies we supposed to forgive. But us as a people, you understand? Understanding this bastardized heritage that they've given us in the United States, we want to serve God because it's in our DNA, but we don't know how to serve God because we've been taught by them. Same thing with the hatred that they have for us. We wanted to serve God back in the times where the Lord brought us out of Egypt, and we took hold to that covenant. She sprinkled the blood on us. Hey, you niggas gonna follow these laws? Yes, my Lord. Same thing with them. When Esau said, man, look, so we gonna mourn for my father, but eventually when he dead and gone, I'm gonna kill this nigga. And they've been doing that for thousands of years now. You understand? So like, yeah. Okay. Now, let me show you that the Greeks was Edomites. You got a question? We're going to go to the book of Esther. So like, yeah, let me get the exact scripture. Book of Esther, chapter 3. And verse 1. And after these things, did King Ahasuerus, Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. The Agagite. Why is he called an Agagite?
Because that's the tribe of Edomites that he comes from.
But who is Agag? I'm going to show you who Agag was. Remember, and Salakia, hold on. Remember,
Agag was a king of the Amalekites.
Right.
People frequently in conflict with the Israelites.
Right. Who is Amalek?
He was a king of Amalek.
But where do the Amalekites come from?
Oh, from Esau.
Yeah.
Edom.
Amalek is one of the Amalek is one of the grandsons of Esau. Amalek is the chief tribe of the Edomites. This Amalek right here. Look, these are the Amalekites. Your small hat people, right? Now, Salakia. Haman is called an Agagite, right? Now, let's go to Additions to Esther in the Apocrypha. The 6th chapter. Salakia. They do not be pulling us on here, man. What is the... Okay, Most High in Christ. They did, right? So Additions to Esther, the 6th chapter in the Apocrypha, right? I'm gonna wait till you get there.
I start from 10 to
16. 6 Salakia. Additions to Esther 16 and 10. My bad, Salakia. You there?
Mm-hmm.
It says, for Ammon, or Ammon, or Haman. This is the same exact dude, right? A Macedonian, the son of Amadatha. Remember, it just said this was the son of Amadatha. He was a Macedonian, right? Being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us. Why is he a stranger from the Persian blood? It's simple.
That's where he fled from, right? Or
no.
That's where he, I remember that the story that was with him and
Mordecai.
Yeah, and Ruth.
Right? No, not
Ruth.
Esther.
Yeah, I remember the story. I'm not sure why I was calling him. I don't remember if he got killed or not.
He did. Haman and his sons are the reason why we celebrate Purim.
Right, I know that.
But the reason why I was calling him a stranger from the Persian blood, because he's a Macedonian.
Because he's not Persian.
Exactly. Okay. Because he's not Persian, but he's a Macedonian and he's called an Agagite.
Right.
I got to do some research on it, but this is not the school stance on it, so don't quote me on this, but it is possibly well that Alexander the Great, his father Philip, and the Greeks up under him that were from Macedonia, it's possible that they all came from Agag.
Yeah, but they were Macedonians too. Right?
Absolutely. Now, do it make sense why Alexander went to war with the Persians? Mm-hmm. Make perfect sense. Haman was like a legend to the Macedonians. Right. He rose to prominence up under the Persian Empire. They put him to death for the Israelites. The Persians put him to death for us, for the sake of Mordecai and Esther, right? Mm-hmm. The Feast of Purim. Then fast forward, you got Philip and then his son later, Alexander. You understand? I'm going to get that right now. Philip, later his son, Alexander, who's called Macedonians. They went to war with the Persians. Right? Mm-hmm. Then what happened? After they defeated the Persians, who they turned their wrath on? Us.
Because they was protecting us. Well, in essence, they were protecting us.
Exactly. Well, no,
they were stopping them from
not necessarily protecting us, but Mordecai, he more or less showed. Mordecai did something extraordinary for the king of Persia at that time. Remember, Mordecai is the reason that he married Esther. But also he did something else. I can't remember exactly what he did. Let me see if DK know what he did. DK, if you could put it in the chat, Baba Kashad, because it slipped my mind. What did Mordecai do? As a matter of fact, I'm going to look it up real quick if you can't find it. But what did Mordecai do for the Persian king? I think they was plotting to kill the Persian king, and then Mordecai he exposed it, told Esther, she told him, and he saved the king's life. And then they exposed Haman for wanting to kill the children of Israel, right? So now watch this. Haman, right? He was a Macedonian. Correct? The Greeks were Caucasians. Haman, being a Macedonian, he had to be a goddamn Caucasian. This was a white boy called a Agagite, knowing that he comes from the lineage of King Agag, who was an Amalekite, who was the direct, Amalek being a direct grandson of Esau. You see how this is all lining up? You can't tell me that these white boys is not Edomites. You fake Israelites that's saying that Edomites are the Arabs, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're a novice in these scriptures. You got to get your studying up. First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. You there? I'm wait till you get there. Baba Kashad, hand me one of them incense. I'm going to go a little bit longer than I intended to tonight. Yeah, incense. Yeah. First Maccabees chapter 1 and 1. The bottom. And it reads, and it happened after that, after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came, Salakia, give me 1 second, y'all. Who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. This is the first time that the Caucasian man had a kingdom. When he fought against the Persians and the Medes and conquered them, you understand? And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. Did not the Lord say that Esau, Edom, was going to live by the sword? This is exactly what the Greeks did. This is exactly what the Romans did. This is exactly what the Spaniards did. This is exactly what Edomites did in general. They're the only ones who do that. Give y'all some more proof, right? Hold on, Salakia. I'll show y'all some more proof. Nah, DK, yeah, I already know that part, but it was a key significant piece of the history what happened between Mordecai and the king. And Mordecai, he eventually exposed the plot to have the king killed that Haman had against the king. That's why the king had respect for Mordecai. You understand? And that's why he allowed Mordecai to do what he did, you understand, and getting Haman up out of there. Now, let me show y'all. This is Petra, right? I believe this is the capital city or one of the chief cities of the Edomites. You understand? This is in Edom. Now, don't this look like the White House? Don't this look like the slave plantation houses? Don't this look like they buildings in Rome? They always had the same structure and style of building things. You don't go too far from your culture and your customs as a people. You understand? Niggas like the fried chicken in the Bible. We love it today. We ate unleavened bread in the Bible. Mexicans are making tacos today. You understand? King Solomon had gold teeth and chains on. We do the same stuff that we did back in the Bible today. Well, Esau was a murderer back then in the Bible. With him personally, the Jews, the Romans, I mean, not the Jews, excuse me, the Greeks and the Romans, and now America, Spain, these cats. Where's that other book? Oh, here we go. Especially him. Y'all know who that is. Evil. You understand? That's the face of evil, right? I'm going to jump down to verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons, and after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. There has never been anybody on planet Earth that has not been more wicked than the white man. Salakia. Let me read that again. I'm sharing my screen. This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 9 from the top. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, speaking about Alexander, when he parted his kingdom. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. This is where you get a big perpetuation of homosexuality. You understand? Of exactly what they known for: rape, robbery, murder, and torture. You understand? Allowing abomination to be sacrificed in our temples. All of this, like making us Jewish identity in the Hellenistic diaspora, forcing us to become Greeks, essentially. You understand? Now, a lot of people pose the question, well, if the white man is so evil, Why would you read that book? That's a white man's book. Let me show you this to all you simpletons. This is a book called the Negro Rulers of Scotland and the British Isles. Matter of fact, before I get there, I'm going to finish up about the children of Israel. You understand? And us fleeing Jerusalem. It's the book From Babylon to Timbuktu. This it. Give me 1 second, y'all. Where's it at? From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 40. Thousands of Jews migrated to Egypt and Arabia when the Roman general Titus destroyed the city of Jerusalem at AD 70, when the Jews revolted in 130. Shalagi, this is not the page that I'm looking for. But in this book, From Babylon to Timbuktu, I can't find the page right now. For time's sake, I'm going to just leave it alone. But in that book, From Babylon to Timbuktu, it says that it's estimated that over 1 million Jews fled in Africa, and the transatlantic slave trade markets was filled with us. You understand? Salakia. But like I was saying earlier, a lot of people pose the question, well, if the white man is so evil, or the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, why would you read the book of the white man? You understand, right? The book of the white man being the Bible, the King James version of the Bible. Now, before I show you King James himself, this is a book called The Negro Rulers of Scotland and the British Isles. You understand? These are all facts. The people that ruled during the Dark Ages was all black people. As a matter of fact, damn, where is that? I want to say it's in Britain. You know that holiday that they wear ornaments of black people? I forget what part of Europe it is. You understand? But they have a holiday and a celebration of putting ornaments of black people, or memorabilia of black people being kings and queens in that land at one time. You understand? This is King James right here. I don't know if y'all can see that clear, but that's King James right there. The namesake of this translation of the Bible, which he did not write. He only translated. As a matter of fact, I got something better for y'all. Big shout out to Officer 5000 Karat, who just posted something heavy not too long ago. And let me see if I can go find it real quick. He just posted this on Facebook. And it reads, King James Version. When Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to the crown passed to James I, who had been king of Scotland for 37 years. As James the what's VI? Is that's the fourth or is that the sixth? Yeah, that's the sixth, huh? Yeah. So it says, who had been king of Scotland for 37 years as James VI. Several months after he ascended, and this is in the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary. So, like, I don't know if this is in Minds, because I got the Pictorial Bible Dictionary. Let me see. But I'm going to just read it from his. If it don't say the same thing on page 86, just for time's sake, to show you that this is not a Caucasian man. Okay, that's not on this. That's not in the Pictorial Bible Dictionary. This is in the regular Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, right? Several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the Bishop's Bible. These are the Negro rulers of Scotland and the British Isles. These is black people. Well, this King James that we reading about in 1603, hence the 1611 version of the King James Version Bible, this was a black man. All of them pictures of them white boys that you see when you Google, that's not King James. That's somebody else. 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day were divided into 6 groups, 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New Testament, and 1 for the Apocrypha. 2 of the groups met at Oxford, 2 at Cambridge, and 2 at Westminster. These is prestigious colleges over there. You understand? You guys have something you want to say?
I just think I felt the holiday you were talking about.
What is it?
Is it in Belgium and the Netherlands?
I believe so.
Zwart Piet, Black Pete.
Read on.
In the Netherlands and Belgium features people portraying the companion of Saint Nicholas in blackface.
And who?
In blackface.
Hold on. Who was it?
Saint Nicholas.
Let me show y'all. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Let me show y'all Saint Nicholas. Hold on. I'm going to show you Saint Nicholas. I'm about to show y'all exactly who Saint Nicholas is. That's crazy. What is this called?
You could just go back and it'll show you. I just looked it up.
But what is it called, though? Oh. Damn. Hold on. Give me the name of the holiday. I'm gonna share my screen while she giving me that holiday. Now watch this.
Zwart Piet, Black Pete.
Zwart Piet, Black Pete. Mm-hmm. Y'all see this image right here? That's Saint Nicholas, a black man. I believe Saint Nicholas was from Russia or something like that. You understand? But he was a high priest. You understand? This was a brother, right? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Spell it for me.
CWARTE.
T-E.
And then it's another word.
P-I-E-T. This is outrageous. Watch this.
So in Spain, I guess it's called Moros y Cristianos.
But it's the same holiday.
It's the same holiday, but it's just they call it something different.
And they celebrate it by putting on blackface.
Yeah, they do it in Spain and then in Belgium.
In
Dutch.
They do this in Spain, Dutch,
Netherlands, and
Belgium, the Netherlands, and it's called what?
And the
Zwarte Piet.
In Belgium it's called Zwarte Piet, and in Spain I guess it's called Moros y Cristianos.
Right. They literally have a parade in blackface as black people that's royalty because they know niggas used to rule in the whole Europe. You understand?
In English it's called Black Pete.
In English it's called Black Pete or Piet. Black Piet, I believe. You understand? These people knew that the original rulers of this land was was so-called black people. You understand? And they were Israelites. These brothers got shields on their coat of arms. On their armor, they got shields. All right? Salakia. We'll go back to these scriptures. We'll get a couple more scriptures and I'm going to end it. Now that you know who Esau Edom is, let's show you his fate according to the scriptures. Go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and I'm going to start at verse 1. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Remember, Mount Seir, Esau, Edom, this is all one and the same, talking about these people. You understand? And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Did they not do this to us during the Greek Empire? Did they not do this during the Roman Empire? Did they not do this to us in America? They have had a continual hatred for the children of Israel. Verse 6, therefore, as I live, the Lord said, on me. You feel me? Saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men in his hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. He's talking, when he said these two cities, he's talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. He's talking about what white men did to so-called African Americans, the so-called Caribbeans, the Haitians, as well as the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Mexicans, the so-called Native American Indians, to the nation of Israel as a whole. He calling us two cities because we were split up. He's saying what you did to the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, you're going to pay for that, right? Salakia. I'm going to read that again. Verse 11, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will even do according to thine anger, as mad as you was at the children of Israel when you slaughtered us, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred for them. Oh, they mad that we God's chosen people. So because you envy the children of Israel, this is why you slaughtered us. This is why you raped our men, women, and children. This is why you fed our babies to alligators. This is why Donald Trump wants to kick Mexicans out of their own goddamn land. You understand? This is why Andrew Jackson ushered in the Trail of Tears and the Indian Removal Act. This is why Bloody Island happened right here in Northern California. The reason why we have a goddamn football team called the 49ers in the Bay Area, and I ain't gonna go into that really, but go look up what a fucking 49er is. A 49er is a greedy devil that came from the other side of the United States and came over here to slaughter the Native American Indians to take their gold and natural resources from 1849 on up. They talking about changing the name of the Redskins football team. You should change the name of 49ers because that's offensive as well. The Raiders. That's self-explanatory right there. You understand? Salaki.
It's amazing how they like justify like everything. So they'll be like, the Native Americans, they savages. So like they needed us to make this land great, because without us, who knows what would have came of this land. Or accusing all of the Latinos of being like rapers and robbers and murderers, just so it can be okay to kick them out of the country and nobody else say nothing about it. Or every time like something go wrong with like the country period, like when all those kids died in Texas, and they found like the nearest black police or chief or fire chief to be like, it's his fault, even though he was like 3 hours away. Right.
And the Mexicans helped him.
Yeah, it's just crazy how
and
they
to
always find a way to put all of that.
And not to cut you off, and to call Mexicans robbers, rapists, and criminals. Nigga, how the fuck did your forefathers get this land? Did they not do that on a mass scale? Did they not do that to the whole population? This is the face of rape, robbery, murder, and criminality. Right there, Christopher Columbus. You understand? That's the fate. That's the face of hatred. This is the face of a hate group. You crackers that came here and did all of this to the Native American Indians, and then ushered the so-called Negroes to come over here and serve out slavery, just how you did the natives. The Lord said he's going to deal with you because of it, right? Excuse me. Salakia. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate. They are given us to consume. Thus, with your mouth, you have boasted against me and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord God, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. When the Lord makes the whole earth to rejoice, the scriptures say, when the righteous are in authority, I'm paraphrasing, the world rejoices. When the children of Israel begin to rule on planet Earth and everybody is happy that they're not being oppressed, that we not pushing drugs in their communities, that we not perpetuating a death style to the rest of these goddamn heathens when they happy that we righteous and kind slave master them? Oh, he gonna make you Edomites desolate. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto you. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it. They shall know that I am the Lord. You know who Idumea is? Idumea is a Greek word that means Edom. This who the Lord gonna make desolate. This who's the Lord is going to make desolate. This is who the Lord is going to make desolate. Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, understand this. If a nigga tell you that the Edomite is not the Caucasian man, he don't know what the hell he talking about. He's not in the truth, and you should not listen to him. The Lord gonna repay you, devils, for what y'all did to the children of Israel. With that being said, Yahweh Shem Shah, rock a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar, a thumb by Shem Shah to the sisters. Shalom, Israel.